Martell Holt has once again found himself at the center of attention, and this time it's not just because of a few pictures or posts online. His recent behavior and social media activity have sparked deep discussions about accountability, family, and the image he continues to project in the public eye. What's been unfolding isn't just about sharing photos or trying to show off fatherhood. It's about how actions speak louder than words, and how refusing to take responsibility can affect not only one's reputation, but also the people closest to them. Martell has been sharing photos of his children online, and while on the surface it might look like a proud father moment, fans and followers are reading much more between the lines. Many believe that these posts are not as innocent as they appear, and that there's a deeper reason behind his sudden wave of public affection. People are pointing out that Martell seems to be using social media to shape a certain image of himself, especially after everything that's happened in his marriage and family life. While he claims to be focused on his kids, the timing and tone of his posts suggests something more strategic, almost like he's trying to win sympathy or repair his public image. Some even think he's doing it to get under Melody's skin or to show the world that he's doing just fine without her. But fans aren't fooled. They remember the history, the choices he made, and how his actions led to the breakdown of his marriage. So when they see him posting pictures or writing captions about fatherhood, they question whether it's genuine love or just another performance. The bigger conversation here goes beyond social media. It's about accountability, something Martell has struggled with for a long time. Even when faced with clear consequences for his actions, he rarely takes full responsibility. Instead, he often shifts blame, points fingers, or acts as if he's the one who has been wronged. This pattern has made it hard for many people to believe in any kind of change or growth from him. The public has watched his journey unfold, from the highs of family life to the lows of public arguments, cheating scandals, and court battles. Through it all, one thing has remained consistent: his resistance to fully admit his role in the chaos that's followed. On the other side of this story is Melody, who has shown grace and strength in handling an incredibly tough situation. Despite everything she's been through, she keeps her focus on her children. She's been vocal about protecting them from adult negativity, making it clear that her kids should never be dragged into adult drama. Melody recently spoke about how much her children have gone through and how she prays daily for their protection. Her words carry the tone of a mother who has seen and endured a lot, but refuses to let bitterness take over. She made it clear that anyone who tries to harm her children, whether through words or online bullying, will be met with her firm response. She stands as a mother who is determined to create peace for her kids, even when chaos surrounds her. Meanwhile, Martell's actions continue to confuse and frustrate people who once rooted for him. He still posts freely on social media, sometimes saying things that come off as defensive or dismissive of the pain he's caused. For instance, he once commented on a post from Tony the Closer, implying that women often lie and that men need to call them out early on. That comment alone set off a wave of reactions, with fans calling him out for hypocrisy. Many reminded him that he was the one who cheated and that his behavior was the reason his marriage fell apart. Seeing him give relationship advice or talk about honesty felt like a slap in the face to people who have followed his story from the beginning. It's moments like that which make it hard for anyone to believe that he's truly learned from his mistakes. What makes this even more complicated is that Martell's social media activity often blurs the line between fatherhood and performance. He posts pictures of his children, captions them with emotional lines, and even interacts with followers who praise him for being an involved dad. But some people question his intentions, wondering if he's doing it for validation rather than genuine connection. The debate over whether these posts are about love or attention has become a major talking point. Critics argue that if his focus was really on his kids, he wouldn't need to broadcast every moment online, especially when public attention has already harmed in the past. Melody, in contrast, has been consistent in her approach. She shares photos of her children, but balances that with privacy. She focuses on the emotional well-being of her kids rather than trying to shape a particular image. Her decision to prioritize personal privacy despite being in the spotlight speaks volumes about what she values. She understands that being in the public eye doesn't mean you have to put your kids on the front lines. As parents, how you handle external pressure can shape your children's view of everything. Melody seems to grasp this very well and treats her kids as individuals with emotions and needs. Meanwhile, Martell seems to focus on his own reputation. The difference is night and day, and it highlights the choices parents make when faced with public scrutiny. In the end, Martell's reaction to criticism and his use of social media raise questions about authenticity, accountability, and co-parenting. The public watches as he tries to navigate the aftermath of his past actions, but the bigger question remains: will he ever fully understand the impact his decisions had and take real responsibility for his actions? Only time will tell, but fans and followers are watching closely, ready to hold him accountable every step of the way. She spends time with her kids, takes them out for activities, and shares small glimpses of their life, not for attention, but to highlight joy, family, and positivity. When she posts, her message is usually centered around gratitude, love, and protection. She doesn't attack or shade anyone. Instead, she prays, moves forward, and teaches by example. This maturity and quiet strength have made many people rally around her. Fans see her as a mother who refuses to let negativity define her, and that's something people deeply respect. The contrast between Martell and Melody couldn't be clearer. On one hand, there's a man who seems to crave attention, even if it means staying in the spotlight for the wrong reasons. On the other, there's a woman who has learned to protect her peace and her children at all costs. This dynamic plays out not just online, but also in how they handle criticism and pressure. Melody's strength lies in her silence and her ability to rise above, while Martell's weakness seems to be his constant need for validation. This difference is what fans keep talking about. It's what fuels the ongoing discussion about accountability, maturity, and growth. When we talk about accountability, we're really talking about the ability to admit when you're wrong and make amends without excuses. For Martell, that moment hasn't come yet. His refusal to take ownership of his choices has cost him not just a marriage, but also the respect of many supporters who once admired him. Accountability is what allows healing to begin, both for yourself and the people you've hurt. Without it, you're stuck repeating the same mistakes no matter how many times you say you've changed. Martell's online behavior shows that he still struggles with this, and that struggle keeps him trapped in the same cycle of drama and backlash. It's worth noting that this situation isn't just about one man or one family. It reflects a bigger issue about how people handle relationships in the public eye. Social media has turned private lives into public entertainment, and every post becomes a piece of the story for viewers to analyze. People form opinions, take sides, and comment without truly knowing the full picture. For someone like Martell, who keeps feeding the public narrative, this creates a never-ending loop. Every time he posts something controversial, it reignites old conversations. Every time Melody responds with grace, it reminds people of who's truly growing and who's not. As fans continue to follow this story, the lessons become clearer. Melody shows what it means to move forward, protect your peace, and prioritize your children no matter what. Martell, on the other hand, demonstrates what happens when ego and pride take the lead instead of accountability and growth. The contrast between them is not just about gender or parenting, it's about personal values. One chooses peace, the other chooses the spotlight. One prays for protection, the other seeks attention. These choices speak volumes without either of them having to say a word. It's also important to highlight how all of this affects their children. When parents go through public breakups and custody battles, the kids often feel the impact the most. They see the posts, hear the conversations, and feel the tension. That's why Melody's focus on shielding her children is so important. She understands that protecting them from the chaos of adult conflicts is the best way to give them stability. Her emphasis on prayer and positivity shows that she wants to break the cycle of negativity and show her kids a better example of strength and love. Martell's public actions, however, sometimes make that harder. By continuing to engage in online arguments and attention-driven behavior, he risks bringing more drama into their lives instead of peace. Fans continue to comment, debate, and react to every new development in this story. Some hold out hope that Martell will one day wake up and take full accountability for his actions. Others believe he may never truly change until he faces himself honestly. Either way, this situation has become a case study in how relationships can fall apart when pride, ego, and denial take over. Melody's calm and steady approach reminds everyone that healing isn't loud, it's quiet, intentional, and full of faith. Martell's choices, on the other hand, show how refusing to learn from the past can keep a person stuck in cycles of chaos and public scrutiny. In the end, this story is more than just drama. It's about lessons. It's about what happens when love turns to resentment and when accountability is replaced by defensiveness. It's about understanding that every choice has consequences, and those consequences don't just disappear because time has passed. Martell has a chance to change the narrative, but it starts with him taking a long, hard look in the mirror. Until he does, the cycle will continue and people will keep calling out the same behavior they've seen for years. Meanwhile, Melody will keep doing what she's always done, putting her children first, protecting her peace, and rising above the noise.